You are at a table under yellow light. Glasses sweat by dim screens, while rain softly taps the window. She leans back in her chair and laughs. She drops her bag into your hands, like nothing. You hold it while dating dynamics play in silence. Social proof speaks. No one says a word on your behalf. Your friends shift in their seats and look away. Her attention moves on. Your small role is decided. In that small scene, your boundaries are exposed. Aristotle would say, your habits spoke before you did. Character, for him, is the visible pattern you repeat, the shape your choices carve into your body, not what you meant to do under the pressure of the attention economy, not the promise you made in a late text. This is the quiet logic beneath masculine sovereignty. You think she disrespects you, but you train her to do so. Every instant, yes, tells her your time has no gravity. In the attention economy, it reads as scarcity rather than value. Dating dynamics are ruthless about scarcity and abundance. People treat your presence like something they can always reschedule. You do not lack boundaries. You practice self-abandonment. You drop your own plans when her message lights. You answer within tiny response windows to protect the connection. Your friends see you orbit her mood, not your mission. Social proof quietly files you under background support, not the center. Aristotle is helpful here because he ignores your story. He looks only at the rules you live by. Where do you place your body when the room shifts? What do your hands reach for when someone demands? He would read that bag in your grip like a chess opening. Here, your micro-step is small and has a clear purpose. Notice one request you accept without thinking. Pause for 3 breaths before you answer in any response windows. You will feel foolish, heavy, almost disloyal to desire. That sensation is the first mirror of what you enforce. You are in a library with the lights low. Shelves rise like walls around your small table. Your phone buzzes as you open old philosophy pages. Aristotle would ignore the noise and watch you. He would ask, what end does our life quietly serve? For him, every man moves toward some telos. Career, comfort, approval, or a mission you protect. You already live by the rules you live by. They show how you handle the pressure and hunger of the attention economy. Purpose is not a mood, it is a direction over the years. Your habits are the grooves carved in that direction. Each repeated yes or no adds another small line. Under the pressure of the attention economy, you choose to scroll or study. Under dating dynamics, you choose to reply or rest late. Over time, those choices harden into the man she meets. You think boundaries are about memorizing heroic lines. Aristotle would point to your default movements instead. What do you reach for when you feel bored? Who do you text when you feel insecure? Boundaries are simply lines that your habits do not cross. Citizens he admired were not praised for one night. They were known for steady courage in repeated storms. In your world, social proof quietly works the same. People track patterns, not speeches about masculine sovereignty. Your calendar and response windows become your public reputation. You think your problem is that women misunderstand you. Your real problem is habits that are loyal only to comfort. Comfort, as a hidden telos, keeps your standards negotiable. You move, work, training, even sleep for a call. You quietly trade boundaries for short-term relief and attention. Aristotle watches where your effort finally settles truly. Is it comfort or a mission that shapes you? Attention economy pulls, but you decide what repeats. Those repetitions harden into boundaries she can feel. So make your first move brutally simple and written. Finish this section and name what you serve. Write one sentence on paper, not online, without defense. Choose between comfort, approval, or a mission you guard. Once you see it, recognize the trap that moves you. Walk. Aristotle would say, the trap starts with your quiet daily worship. Her attention quietly becomes the highest good you think you know. Every read receipt hits like a verdict on your worth again. Under dating dynamics, each small reaction feels sacred and final anyway. You build boundaries around what pleases her, not what grounds you inside. Once you place her high on that inner throne, watch closely. Your time, sleep, and work all bow in small, quiet increments. You rewrite plans to match her shifting response windows each night. Attention economy platforms become the temple where you wait alone scrolling. Your masculine sovereignty shrinks to whatever earns a fast reply from her. Aristotle watched flatterers fold themselves around the familiar, powerful faces. They mirrored desires instead of standing in their own solid form. You repeat that pattern with a woman and her curated feed daily. You do not fall for him. You elect her as your complete ruler. You quietly vote her in as the judge of your public character online. You say you fear losing her more than your entire self. Aristotle would say, you have already surrendered your better inner good. Your telos moves from mission to mood management and constant scarcity. Friends watch you rush to answer, while work sits unfinished, untouched. Social proof recasts you as the flexible one on constant call forever. Boundaries dissolve when her calendar replaces your rules. You live entirely by her calendar. You stop asking what serves your long-term direction, and you faithfully follow Aristotle. You ask what avoids tension in this moment with her physical presence. The mirror here is brutal, but clean and painfully bright, exact. You are not forced into this shape. You volunteer continually for it. So choose one arena where you always break first inside without thinking. Sleep, work, or training. You move aside for her messages again. Write down the last 3 times and the exact cost honestly paid. Name what you paid and what purpose you betrayed in practice, clearly. Once you see that pattern, you will feel forced to choose. Aristotle would start here with what you call sharp pressure. He separates what is forced from what you actually choose. Most of your "I had to" moments are quietly chosen. Response windows open and close, and you still move. Attention economy tools record it without commentary or obvious blame. Look down at your week like a chessboard of hours. Each block you slide is a self-portrait in slow motion. Your calendar is not chaos. It is a daily confession. It shows which boundaries you keep and which you trade. Masculine sovereignty shrinks whenever you move for comfort, not purpose. You say, "She will not let me change anything." In Aristotle's terms, no one is holding the blade. You lay your own plans on the altar first. You cancel training, move sleep, and bend work for her mood. Dating dynamics then read your life as permanently negotiable. Citizens in his world were held for voluntary choices. A sailor who steered into storms could not blame the weather. You do the same with group chats and late-night mindless scrolling. You head straight for scarcity, then resent the ship sinking. You think the world steals time, but you keep gifting it. Over the years, these volunteered compromises harden into your character. The man who constantly shifts becomes foggy with no transparent edges. Friends feel there are no solid rules to live by. Social proof tags you as the flexible one forever. She feels a man with boundaries only on soft evenings. Responsibility here is not guilt. It is leverage again. You are not a victim. You are an author. You can choose new rules you live by on purpose. Choose response windows that serve sleep, work, and training before attention. Screenshot your week and mark every time you move yourself. Circle the moves made for approval, not for telos. Name the area you betray first when messages arrive. See how often you volunteer to be scattered and small. Once you admit that, you can finally study attraction honestly. You can ask what draws her, what quietly kills desire as standard. Aristotle starts here with the shape of real courage. He draws a line between cruel and weak softness. In modern dating dynamics, this middle line still matters. Too hard, and you cut people to protect yourself. Too soft, and you dissolve your own boundaries for peace. At first, your softness feels like medicine to her. You answer late messages, you cancel sleep, and you drive. All of your yeses seem like pure kindness offered. Under dating dynamics, a week later, it feels different. You mistake compliance for kindness. Instability forms where you melt. A man with no boundaries feels good in the beginning. He feels like the weather, constantly shifting to keep her calm. She reads your mood and decisions like a storm map. Attention economy pressure makes you scatter, then pretend you are generous. There is no masculine sovereignty in forecasts that keep changing. You think softness is kindness, but watch the hidden cost. When every plan bends, nothing in you feels load-bearing. Her body can relax only where the structure does not wobble. Desire needs form, a frame that resists both charm and threat. You think saying yes keeps her. She feels unsafe agreeing. Look at the leader Aristotle would quietly respect in public. He says no to flattery and no to pressure. His throne is a set of rules you live by. He breaks for emergencies, not for boredom or quick loneliness. People copy him because boundaries stay the same on hard days. Your life is the blade being tested in the forge. Either you stay bent by every hand that touches, or you harden into a middle path that holds. Choose firmness over cruelty and structure over needy softness everywhere. Choose one non-negotiable and define when it can move. Write that condition where you can see it. Let her reactions pass like changing weather outside. Let friends talk while your schedule holds the line. To live this paradox, you will pay a cost. In solitude and mockery, as you build new habits, you stand before your final inner mirror. Aristotle begins with the descent of who pads beside you. He divides friendships into pleasure, usefulness, and shared character. Pleasure friends, like your jokes, shared chaos, and your softness. Useful friends like what your attention and energy provide. Mirror. When your character shifts, the first layers feel real strain. Your new boundaries cut across old comforts and habits. You stop answering messages inside desperate response windows. Attention economy invitations hit your phone and meet delay. Walk. You think losing people means you are failing as a man. Often it means your life stopped orbiting their comfort. Under dating dynamics, some feel abandoned when you guard time. They were attached to the older you without standards. Choose. Aristotle watched men leave feasts for hard training in silence. Circles shrank. Rumors grew that philosophy made them arrogant. The same pattern repeats in your group chats and on weekends. Guarding masculine sovereignty looks like pride before peace. Standard. You think mockery proves your new rules are wrong. It proves boundaries cost them some ease. People prefer the one that minimizes inconvenience. Social proof punishes first, then slowly adjusts to your new weight. Mirror. In the forge of this season, you walk with fewer truths. Invitations fade when you stop offering emotional support. Some women test harder when your schedule finally stops bending. They check if your structure outlasts hurt feelings. Walk. Aristotle knew that honor comes after a long delay. The right men watch longer before they move closer. They need to see whether the rules you live by actually hold. They want proof that this is character, not performance. Standard. You mistake the quiet nights for harsh exile and loss. You forget you are reshaping your presence under pressure. Boundaries feel heavier because they now guard real purpose, not fear. Dating dynamics sort around the man who can endure. Choose. List 3 names or places that will likely resist hard. Decide how you will respond the first time. Accept solitude. Accept mockery. Refuse softness again on purpose. If you accept this dissent, you can ask what sovereign stance remains. Enforce. Aristotle moves from theory to how you actually walk through rooms. Practical wisdom is knowing the next right move for you. Not in general, but here in this attention economy. You stand before a throne made of small choices. Each choice becomes one of the rules you live by daily. You think sovereignty is an aura other men possess. In Aristotle's world, it is a practiced stance. Masculine sovereignty is a set of non-negotiables. You obey them before mood, pressure, or dating dynamics. You are ruled by what you will not trade. Scripts are what you say when you feel unsure around new boundaries. Stances are lines you hold without repeating speeches every time. In the attention economy, a stance is phone outside. You create response windows that protect work and sleep. Your boundaries live in where your body actually is. Aristotle trusts the seasoned person over the written rule alone. Experience teaches which lines must stay firm under relational strain. You learn by testing what bends and what breaks. Social proof watches whether your stance survives her disappointment. People copy the man who does not renegotiate by text. You think boundaries are about controlling her movement and freedom. They are about controlling how you allocate your life. You are choosing purpose over scarcity and anxious chasing. Dating dynamics shift when your schedule stops pleading for attention. She feels a throne you sit on, even when alone. Endgame chess is quiet, deliberate, and almost devoid of drama on the board. Pieces move rarely, but each move changes everything inside you. Your week should feel like an endgame under the pressure of the attention economy. Few moves, each aligned with purpose rather than constant distraction. Habit turns those moves into a stable, masculine structure. Choose 3 windows that will become your stance-level ground. Sleep, deep work, and training anchor the boundaries of your primary response windows. Define the exact conditions under which they can bend without being corrupted. Write them down where you plan, not on a feed. Once your stances are clear, women become mirrors, not enemies you walk. Aristotle treats relationships as the forge where character glows and cracks. Every interaction with her reveals what you truly serve in dating. When you stand firm, you see one face. When you bend your own rules, you see another. Women become the mirrors that show men you are in motion. You think she is the enemy of your new standards. In Aristotle's frame, she is part of your training ground. Her reactions map where your boundaries are clear and where they blur. Dating dynamics reveal whether your stated telos actually aligns with your lived habits. This is a strategy, not a sin, just data on masculine sovereignty. A calm boundary filter does not just frustrate, it also harms people. Some women leave when you keep your sleep or work window. They were attached to access, not to you, aligned with purpose. Others relax when your yes and no match week after week. In the attention economy, a man who refuses to chase stands out. You think she made you break the rules you live by. In truth, she showed what you chose above your own structure. You think tests are attacks meant to humiliate or exhaust you. Often, they are her way of asking if your frame is real. Under dating dynamics, trust is built where responses are steady, not perfect. Aristotle would point back to companions who strengthen, not weaken, your path. A woman who respects your boundaries strengthens that path by walking it. Her respect becomes social proof that your standards are not a performance. Her disrespect becomes social proof that scarcity still runs your decisions. Neither is final judgment. Both are feedback about masculine sovereignty in practice. Recall one recent test from a woman in your dating life. Write what she asked, how you moved, and what priority that revealed. Choose resentment or refinement, war with her or a shared mirror. When you see women as mirrors instead of judges, you choose. Aristotle ends with the question of your whole life. Not a weekend, not a phase, a direction sustained. For him, flourishing is coherence between word and movement. The good life is a pattern you repeat. Your presence grows heavier as your choices align. You think you need perfect lines and flawless control. You do not. You need one clear purpose you will protect. Boundaries become servants of that purpose, not decorations. Habit in the forge hardens those lines into structure. Purpose gives your boundaries direction in the attention economy. Habit gives them weight that others feel when you enter. Over time, people sense that you are challenging to move. She feels your response windows are shaped by mission. Dating dynamics bend around men who keep walking. You do not become high value by chasing signals. You become a man whose life can afford no. Your throne is the rules you live by when unseen. Masculine sovereignty is built from 1,000 small protected hours. Social proof gathers around the man who has no guards. Aristotle's ideal citizen served more than his private comfort. Body and mind, trained for a role bigger than mood. Your version is less dramatic, but no less real. You build work, rest, and relationships around one written tells. Boundaries then feel like armor, not fences made of fear. You think saying no is selfish or cruel. It is honest if you are guarding a real mission. You think desire dies when you refuse access. Often, she relaxes when your direction does not wobble. Desire breathes easier when your path survives her reactions. Now design a 72-hour experiment with brutal clarity. Write one sentence that names what your life serves. Choose 3 daily non-negotiable for work, sleep, and training. Pick one boundary you will enforce, regardless of cost, once. The next move is simple. Live 3 days as if your future self is already watching your standard.